February 5th, Shawn Harmon posted pretty much in every single Delphi group that he could find that he believed that his father was Bridge Guy, BG, and possibly his son was involved as well. Anyways, I wanted to do this recording because a lot of people are having issues understanding Shawn, and unfortunately, I asked him if he would like to do a phone interview, and he didn't want to. So, I guess I'm going to share my screenshots, and hopefully it'll answer some questions. Those are obviously the two sketches. This is a picture of Shawn's father. This is a picture of Shawn's son. He's now an adult. He's no longer a child. Again, another picture of Shawn's father. This, we were talking about a video that you could hear Shawn's father's voice. This is another post that Shawn posted. Another post. And if I go too fast, just pause the video so you could read it. Shawn posted every single day and pretty much every single hour, unless he was sleeping. He claims that he suffered a lot of abuse growing up from his dad. He stated that his dad was really familiar with railroads because he used to work on them. A lot of this seems like he rambles a lot, but he could be using talk to text. So it seems pretty confusing when you try to read it. Shawn was pretty much homeless for years, and he suffered from drug abuse and everything. He says he's clean now. He posted a lot about how he was calling in his tips, and pretty much nobody was calling him back, so nobody was taking him serious. This is a side-by-side shot. I did not compose this, but somebody else did. But on the left is Shawn. He was in the newspaper with his dog when he was homeless. And obviously, it's a picture of Bridge Guy next to him because some people started saying that maybe Shawn was Bridge Guy. Top picture is Shawn, and then bottom two are the two sketches. This is a post that people thought that was a little fishy. Thought maybe Shawn was confessing to something. This was when Shawn disappeared. And a lot of people were saying that maybe he got arrested or whatnot, but he actually texted me and said pretty much he was on a Facebook ban. And then he messaged me. This is one of many messages. Sorry about the noise. I'm outside. I have a farm. That's a turkey. Another picture of Shawn. This is when we were texting back and forth. This is a post that I composed because on another post, Shawn commented, "Ask me any questions." So instead of it getting lost in the comments, I decided to just create a post that anybody could ask Shawn questions, because there was a lot of rumors going around that involve Shawn. And again, you could pause it if you need to read any screenshot over again or slower, because a lot of this is hard to comprehend. So this is where he talks about getting in trouble for threatening an officer. And I didn't know what he was talking about at first, but apparently where he's living now, he tried basically filing a report or something like that because of his dad. And I guess the officer offended him in some way, not taking him seriously. So he ended up getting arrested because I guess he was mouthy or something with the officer. He repeats a lot. And some of this I still don't understand. These are still on the same thread. And then, of course, he discussed, because he knows that people can't understand what he's saying a lot of the time. This is pretty much him saying that people could be mean and stuff like that. He was getting a lot of negative feedback from other people in the other Delphi groups. This is where he was talking about his addiction. This is where he's trying to explain why he would turn in his dad and son. He's briefly discussing how his dad was a DJ and how he used to travel a lot. Then he discussed about his dad working for the South Bend Railway in Indiana. So he starts discussing basically his uncle. When his father was in high school, his father's brother was stabbed to death. And our group is the one that found the article and showed Shawn. And we don't think that he knew about this before we showed him it. And now he's getting suspicious, thinking his dad was involved in his uncle's stabbing. He talks about a similar car that was supposedly spotted in Delphi around the time of the murders. But apparently his dad had a similar car that he sold pretty much right after the murders. So he thinks that's also evidence of him being involved. This is him talking about him calling in the tip again and where he called. This is pretty much all of Shawn's assumptions on how it probably took place or why or whatnot. Again, this is all Shawn's opinion on his father, basically. Again, a lot of this stuff, I'm not really sure what he was trying to say. A lot of people are saying that Shawn is still on drugs and that's why he rambles. But, I mean, again, he says that he's been clean for years. And I'm not sure what it is, honestly. Maybe he is rambling. Maybe it's talk to text. And nobody knows. He again repeats a lot. So after his Facebook ban, you could tell that, he went back to constantly posting all over Facebook. But again, this is the thread we created in a strange disappearance for him. There's still a lot of screenshots that I didn't even take. His personal Facebook is just loaded with posts from Shawn. This is again where he discussed how he got arrested when he told the cop to quit smirking when he was trying to tell him about his dad and son being involved in the murders. This is where I kind of caught on to him repeating about how he got arrested, and I was trying to figure out when and why. What did concern me is he didn't even know what his charges were. Now he's talking about initials and stuff like that. I believe he's referring to the search party list. But again, I'm not sure. If anybody knows how to decode some of this stuff, that'd be helpful. So he was talking about, in other groups, there was a charge for basically a sexual assault against a child. Some guy named Shawn Harmon, but it was a senior. Anyways, it took place in 1981, I believe, so it was not this Shawn. So he's pretty irritated that, there's rumors going around. I guess this wasn't him. This is him basically talking about, how he was homeless again. So this is the article that we found. This is Shawn's uncle, which is Shawn's dad's brother. And he was stabbed to death. This would be when Shawn's father was in high school. This is another article we found with, this is his dad, trying to get custody over a ventriloquist doll. Oh, I just found it interesting, more odd, I guess. So this is what Shawn started doing after we showed him the article about his uncle being stabbed to death when he was a child. And he started saying that basically his uncle is his actual real father, and his dad found out about it, and that's why his dad killed his uncle. So basically he started coming up with scenarios in his head that his dad probably even killed his own brother. Again, more ramblings. This is the same post. This is also when I started getting more worried about his mental health, because everybody was talking about it, but he just appeared very suspicious about everything at this point. This is where he talks about getting a DNA test to see who his real father is. And I sent him the ventriloquist article of his dad, and he started posting about that. So what do you think? Does anybody have anything else to add, or did I miss anything? The last conversation I had yesterday with him is he said a detective finally contacted him, but he really didn't have much to share.